What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our channel. For those of you guys that don't know us, I'm Carol.
And I'm Daniela.
And we are This is DNC. And we are getting back to
part 2 for the coming out video.
Sorry for the delay. We just had a lot of things going on. So today we're gonna get back to where we left off at. We are gonna be eating hot Cheetos.
Yeah, hot Cheetos.
I'm gonna add limon, tapatio, and chamoy.
I'm gonna do the same, but not so much lemon because
And I got
I'm
some
not lemony.
chopsticks. We left off to where we got split up because we did end up getting caught again. So we got split up, and when we got sent away, I got sent to Arizona.
And then I got sent to Mexico because my mom was currently living in Mexico. And so at that point we had no contact at all whatsoever. You know, it's Mexico, to be exact. It was Mexicali. So if anyone visits out there, I mean, they do have Wi-Fi and all that stuff, but this was like how many years ago?
This was like in maybe like 2010. No. 2009.
No.
11.
This was like 2000.
No. 2009.
No.
11.
This was like 2012.
Yeah.
11 like 2011.
It's been so long, and like we just forgot all about it because it was just like, you know,
it's really been a long time.
Yeah, it's so
it's been a long time.
She ended up going to Mexico. I ended up going to Phoenix, and we didn't have no communication.
We had no communication for a long time because I was in Mexico and I didn't know anyone. I had cousins and stuff, but I was literally the youngest one, so I really didn't have anyone my age in Mexico, and I had never even visited Mexico to even know any place around there. How was I gonna get Wi-Fi and stuff like that? So eventually I started finding out like all the little spots, whatever that would have. They'll have these little, what would they call them?
Like computer,
like it was like a computer,
like
yeah, kind of like a computer lab, where, but obviously you had to pay. Like you'll pay to use the computers for an hour or whatever. So I would wait when my mom would leave to work. I would go in the afternoons to go, like I would already, the first time that I actually did, I just went on to go like check my stuff or whatever, and I realized that she was messaging me. So
yeah, because I would message her, like, because it was at the time, it was only the only social media was MySpace.
Yeah.
So I would message her on MySpace all day to try and catch her attention, to see if she was online or anything like that.
So I was MIA for a long time, huh? Like,
yeah, I couldn't get a hold of her.
I think it was for like 2 months or something like that. And so eventually when my mom started going to work, I figured where I could get internet. And we started off that way. We would talk all, I would go to that little place every day, like in
Once
that,
a week. At first
it was, yeah. I started talking to her, like first it was like once a week or whatever, and then afterwards it started being like every day after day. And that then led for me to like be crazy and be like, well, let me just call her. I called her one time. I think I only called you like one time.
No, you called me like maybe like 4 times.
So
I would talk for a long time.
And you know how it is, like when you call from Mexico to like California or whatever, like that shit is expensive. So I didn't think of it. I didn't even like think about what was gonna come after me calling her on the fucking landline in Mexico or whatever. Point is that I was calling her, we were talking, and I didn't get caught. They never found me on the phone. But then the phone bill came, and they started seeing, my mom started seeing numbers from Arizona and stuff like that. The bill was fucking high as fuck, and she was like, who the fuck is calling to Arizona? So she put 2 and 2 together. She realized that I was calling this girl, and again,
we got caught again.
we got caught again. I was already in Mexico, so there really wasn't
and it's crazy because I would know it was her. At first I didn't know what number was calling me, because like when they call from over there's like
A
20
gazillion
numbers. It's crazy. And I was like, that's weird. I answer and it's her, and I'm just like,
I don't know how to deal
wow.
with this.
But I wasn't ever able to call back. Like there was no way my phone was able to call back. But she kept calling me. Maybe that it was only like 1 week, babe, that you called.
Yeah.
Because
it wasn't like weeks. It was just like that week, I guess, that I called you. And I would wait till my mom would be knocked out so I could go and call her.
Yeah.
Like it would be late at night.
Because she would be outside, huh? I'd be like, what are you doing? Whatever.
I would stretch the phone outside.
It was crazy. And then she ended up, after a while, we didn't talk again because her privileges
I
was
was
taken away
like
again.
really in trouble.
So then we were back to like MySpace here and there. She ended up coming back.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So shortly after that, I came back to LA. I was in Mexico for probably like 6 to 8 months, something like that.
And within those 6 to 8 months, we didn't really talk
Yeah.
because of the situation of like her not having internet access and stuff like that.
I didn't have a phone. I didn't have we didn't even have a landline after that. I messed that up. And so then I moved back to LA. Carol would, at that point, you started just visiting.
Yeah,
her.
I would come visit. Even before, when she was out there, I would still come visit. But then I found out that she was here, because it's crazy. Because remember when you would call me and you would text me like just like little things like, hey babe, I love you, it's me. Don't text this number. Don't text this number as my mom's phone.
Yeah, like through my mom's phone, like her fucking Mexico phone.
But that's like the only little text I would get, and it would be like the happiest person in the world. Yeah. So then I would come visit my family. I would always want to come visit. When she got back, I would always want to come visit, but because, sorry family, but I didn't really come to visit you guys. I would come to sneak out the house to come and see her, because even when I would come back, they would be on me tough. Like I wouldn't be able to go anywhere. Without my sisters, or like if I wasn't doing nothing with the family, I couldn't really go anywhere. But I would find a way to get away to come and see her. Or like Alma too, huh? Our friend, shout out to Alma. Hey, she really looked out for us, even still to this day. That's my man. She day one.
That was my best friend.
She was holding it down for us. Like she would come with me to come pick her up.
Remember that one time you guys came right here
and it was raining,
and it was like pouring rain? That was crazy.
Yeah, like
I think that day you were leaving to Arizona.
That day I was leaving back to Arizona. It was so sad. But yeah, and then I would come and visit. How often would I come visit? Like twice a month or something like that.
Yeah, like you come like twice a month, and then sometimes you would come for a month, but then you'll be here for like a whole weekend and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like in and out. Like she'll come and then she'll not come, and then she'll just come for.
And this
like
was
2
not
weeks.
like a year. No, this was like.
This went on for years. What we first got together in 2008. So this went on from like 2008 all the way to like 2012, I believe.
Yeah.
So like this whole getting caught, me moving to Mexico, her moving to Arizona, coming back and forth, and like not talking for months. This all happened between like 2008 to like 2012 or so, because that's like after like what I turned 18 in 2012. Huh?
I'm not sure, babe.
I think it was like after, because once I hit 18. That was
so
it.
then whatever, like
Yeah,
I moved back, and then we would like still. There was like, you know what? At that time, like our parents already knew, you know, but they just didn't want us to be together. Like either of our parents. My dad lives in Arizona, so it wasn't more of him, it was more of my mom. So my mom didn't want me to be with her parents, which is both of them, no. Or
yeah, like my dad didn't really ever care. My dad never ever told me nothing. all he ever, like, with the whole situation, all he said was like, you know, because there was, the thing with him was that he always told me, I don't care what you are, what you do, as long as you let me know. I never want to have people come to me and tell me what you're doing, that you're in the corner doing stuff. Like, what he meant in the corner, though, is like me kissing boys, what he thought I would be doing. But so that was his thing. He's like, I didn't want to hear anyone tell me things about what you were, what you know, whatever you wanted to do. So he never ever told me that. It was just like more of my mom, like, I am the only girl, so it was, I get where she's coming from, but it was more so that idea that she wanted me to have a boyfriend rather than a girlfriend.
I'm guessing like her dad didn't really care much of her being gay or whatever, but her mom was like the real tough one on it. But I ended up moving back, so we would still sneak around because of the fact of our parents or whatever. So we would sneak around still. It was probably like the 5th time we get caught. Like, I lost track. Like, it was
we
just
got
like,
caught back to back. Like,
it was crazy. It was just like they didn't.
Oh, we should tell them the story of when we got caught at night.
Right here.
Yeah.
That's the time we got caught again.
Oh.
When I moved back, and I was staying over here.
By the projects?
By the projects. And she came to see me. So that was okay. So this was going on for a while. She would come and see me.
Because at that time I already knew how to drive.
Oh yeah, she was swooping me up.
I had already learned how to drive. So
but the only time we would see each other was at night. Like,
yeah,
she would sneak out her house, I would sneak out my house.
At that point, when I started driving, I would sneak out at night. I would really sneak out at night, take my dad's car. Sorry, Dad. And I would go see him. And when I mean night, like
late, like 2, 3 in the morning.
It was really, really late.
And we'd just chill in the car and talk.
That was crazy.
Really not do much. We'd just sit there and talk.
It was just like more of talk and like be with each other, because we wouldn't really, all we would do ever is be texting and pretty much texting, because we couldn't even talk on the phone. It was just like, who are you talking to? What are you doing? Or who's that? Like that kind of deal.
Like, I wouldn't even when she did have like a landline out here when she moved back, I wasn't even able to call. She would have to call because I always still kept the cell phone. My mom never took my cell phone away. So they did take it from her. They took it from me for a while.
Yeah, I have no cell phone.
And she would only be able to come see me during the night. So she'll text me, and she'll be like, or she'll call me like, I'm on my way. So then I'll put like pillows and stuff. Like, if it's a body, you know, like those movies, how like they put like pillows on the bed when they sneak out. I used to do that shit. So I would do that. I never got caught until this one time she came and we was chilling on my street. And it was late at night. All the lights was off in my house.
It had to be like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it was late, babe.
Like, it was really, because that, I mean, you know, I would have to wait till everyone would be like fully
and like
asleep.
I left my door unlocked because I was going back in the house, and I was literally just in the street. So I guess, I don't know if it was like my tia or my sister that got up and the door was unlocked, and so then they went to go check in my room, and I wasn't there. I got caught again.
Was out.
They're literally, me and her on the car, they're literally blowing up my phone, huh, babe? They're blowing up my phone like back to back, and I'm like, I'm not gonna answer. Like, I'm not gonna answer. And I see the lights in my house turn on, like the hallway and everything, and I'm like, fuck. We still stayed there, like, and then we see them come out, and we're like, fuck. They catch us in the van, huh, babe? They caught us in the fucking van, man. And then they're just like tripping or whatever, because they didn't want me to be with her. And it's crazy how they acted that way. And now, when I get to like my mom's house or my aunt's house by myself, the first thing they say, where's Daniela at? Where's Daniela at? Like, god damn. Not even no hi Carol, no nothing, just ask for her. But so then we I think like that weekend or the following weekend, my mom sent me back to Arizona. So I went back to Arizona, and I was out there for like,
I think like the last time you actually got sent to Arizona before you actually stayed.
That was the last time, yeah. So then I moved back to Arizona, and I think within like 2 months, Daniela came out to see me.
Shortly after that, my mom was like on me like so bad. Like, I did my thing with this, like with me, I kind of like to do whatever I want. And it's not something that's just started like me as an adult. I've always just kind of, I've been that person like that. I've always just kind of wanted to do whatever, not run my own show, but like I've always just felt like if I want to do something, why can't I do it? So I was just like restricted. I couldn't do anything. I didn't have a phone. I couldn't go out. Excuse me, I was just like monitored so bad. So I said, fuck it. I went to Arizona for a whole weekend.
But she didn't tell anyone. She
I didn't
just
tell
like
nobody.
Got her stuff and she took off on the Greyhound.
On the Greyhound. Who the fuck was I buying a ticket at what, like 16?
I bought it for you. I bought it for you online.
Still, who am I? A whole 16-year-old going on a little road trip to Arizona at 16 years old? So she was like,
she had just told me like, I'm gonna come see you, and I was like, say less. Buy her ticket. She came out to see me, and she was out there for the weekend. And
I came back home thinking I was grown or whatever.
Yeah, she just literally went back home on that Sunday because she came on the Friday, so she went back home on Sunday, and because I had to go to school. I was still in high school.
Yeah, she was still in high school.
So I had to go back to school on Monday. So she ended up coming back home, and you got in trouble, huh, babe?
I was in trouble because you gave me like 1,000 hickeys.
You did too, though.
No,
I remember.
No,
but I got in trouble too because I didn't go home that weekend. I stayed out with her the whole weekend.
I got in trouble.
I didn't tell like my dad, and I was living with my dad, so I got in trouble too. But I didn't leave. I wasn't gonna leave her, you know.
We was having a sleepover.
That was literally the first time we had a sleepover, if you know what I mean. Babe, that was. Yeah,
but I got in trouble. I was really in trouble that time. Because I had never left my house.
Did they know that you went to Arizona? They found out?
Yeah. So
I sent her back home with like a bunch of hickeys. We young, we stupid, we do stupid shit. But she came back home or whatever.
Then after,
what happened though?
I got in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I left for a whole weekend. I didn't.
And they were calling you, huh?
And I had already gotten my phone back. At that point, I had already gotten my phone back. So we were kind of like doing, like, my mom, me, and my dad were doing kind of better, whatever. So they gave me my phone back. And here I go, planning a trip to Arizona. I went to Arizona. That was not for your prom, huh? No. So I went to Arizona, I came back, they took my phone again, whatever. It went on like that for a little bit. Then Carol's prom was coming up.
It was like a few months later.
Yeah, like a few months later, fast forward. Her prom was coming up. And Lord forbid her to take anybody else.
Lord forbid, yeah, I ever see them pictures too.
We don't have pictures, but
Bree does.
Oh my god. Well,
shout out to my dog.
It
Bree.
was I know, shout out to Bree.
She's been a real one.
She saved my life at the river. Okay, that's another story time. But she just recently saved my life at the river. Shout out to Bree. But so prom was coming, and she's like, you know, prom is coming, whatever. I want you to come. And I was like, how the fuck am I gonna come? So here I go, being a rebel, thinking I'm grown. I take off to Arizona. And this time, I came with a bigger bag.
She sure did. She came with like a big bag, and she stayed for like a month and a half.
Yeah, I was there for like a month. And
like
we went to prom, and then I was there, and then
I was still
at
in
her
school.
house. Yeah, and then what was your dad like?
No, I told my dad because she came that weekend of prom, or like the week of prom.
Of prom, yeah.
So I didn't really tell my dad that she was coming. All I told him was the day of prom when I was leaving the house. Remember, we ate. He had cooked and we ate, and then I had told him, like, you know, she's gonna be here for a while. And that was it. My dad never questioned me. My dad never said anything. I don't even think he said yes. He just let it happen. Like, she's already here, you know. So she ended up staying for like a month. It wasn't even that long. And she didn't like it. She didn't like the fact that she was there. Like, I don't know. She just didn't like it.
It was just...
I mean, I understand. I was still in school.
Like... I was like, what, 16?
Yeah, I was 18.
What the fuck was
and I was still in school. Like, I understand, you know, she was just there, and she ended up coming back. I remember she called her parents telling them she wanted to come back, but she was already gone for like a month.
Like, my parents would text me and stuff, and then I told them, like, you know, I'm with Carol, whatever. And they'll tell me, like, when are you coming? And I'll just, like, ignore the question and, like, think I'm grown, whatever. But now, like, a month later,
she calls crying, like, if I did something to her.
I want to come home.
They thought I, like, put my hands on her or something.
Yeah, when I called my mom, I don't know. It was just, like, I just had to come back home. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what it was. I just wanted to come back home.
So, I mean, I wasn't going to hold her back. So, she went back home. She went back home, and then after that, like, she just didn't want to deal with it no more. She didn't want to deal with, like, the long distance or, like, just the situation in general, because we were going through a lot.
Yeah, it got to a
trying
point
to see each other and stuff like that. It was just too much. And at the same time,
because at that point, I wasn't caring what my parents said, and she was just like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't want to do this. And so to me, it was just like, I'm not gonna be the only one getting in trouble, like, trying to have my parents understand, like, my situation, what's going on, and what I want for myself.
When I wasn't even trying to do anything.
When she wasn't trying to do it. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna keep doing it, you know, like, it's just not something that I'm gonna keep putting effort or whatever, you know, if she's not gonna do the same. So I was just like, you know what.
And at that time, I was upset. But now that, like, speaking of it, is like, I get it. Like, I wouldn't even want to be in that situation either. I was upset that she was leaving. I didn't want her to leave. But then now I'm like, yeah, the best thing was for her to go back home. Like, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. And you don't feel comfortable, even though if someone's trying to make you feel comfortable at their home.
Yeah, they never, you know, it was not a bad time. It was just like,
we were too young. It was just, we were too young. She ended up coming back home, and she just didn't want to deal with it no more.
It was to the point where it was just too much for me. I didn't
For both of us, it was too much for both of us, but I was just too blind to realize it. Like, I was too blind to realize, like, I'm too young for this. This is too much for both of us. Like, I just didn't want to let it go. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to let it go.
So then after that,
she ended up, like, she'll tell me, like, just let me go.
Yeah.
Stop, you know, just let it go. This is,
like, fast forward to us already, what, 18?
You were probably like 18, I was 20, you know, we got into our own entanglement.
Here she fucking go, entanglement, so make me fucking...
I'm saying it because of Will and, you know.
Like, well, I ain't Will. And you showing Jada. Because, girl.
So, like, fast forward, we ended up speaking to different people, and I would still text her here and there, and she'll be like, damn, Carol, like, just let me go. And I'll tell her.
For a minute, we did go back and forth. Yeah, like, I knew what she had going on, and she never... my thing is I like to be very, very private. So Carol will never know my business entirely, ever.
Unless I find, like, if I catch on to it. But other than that, I will never know.
Yeah, and I'm not the one to, like, just put my business on like, social media and stuff like that. So, and she's just like, bitch, I want to get a point across. She's that type of person. So, my natural thing is, like, bro, leave me alone. Leave me alone, Carol. Like, leave. At first, I was like texting back and forth, whatever. I didn't care. But then after I was like,
just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone. And I really meant it, like, just leave me alone.
And I was just like, no, I love you. We gonna do this. Like, I don't care.
She really was like,
and I would say that all the time. And I'll text her randomly like, I love you. Like, huh?
She was such a fucking lying ass. Talking about, remember when you would say that you didn't have a phone and you'd be using your friend's phone? Like,
don't
she's
say
such
all of
a
that.
fucking liar.
But it was
I told her, I got tired of her shit, and I was like, look, you need to leave me alone. I know what the fuck you doing.
And the only reason why I got into that situation was because I wanted to get back at her. But it didn't work. Was good, you guys. While I was doing the editing on the video, we came to realize that the video was way too long than what we expected. So we are going to have to cut it and make a part 3. So we weren't able to do an outro, so this is the outro for the second part of our coming out story. So stay tuned, and part 3 is coming out right after. Peace.